So looking ahead to Friday, the banking, or the South African Society of Bank Officials, or SASBO, that's the biggest union in the financial sector, is having a national strike on Friday, the 27th of September, which will affect services. The union is calling for a moratorium on job losses and says that it expects between 30 to 40,000 members across the financial industry to participate in a strike action. SASBO has planned the strike since June this year. Joining us now is Joe Kokela. He's SASBO's General Secretary. He's going to talk to us about this planned national strike. Good to have you, Joe. Thanks so much for talking to us.
Thank you very much, Leanne.
I suppose the first question to ask you is this a legal strike?
Labour, there's nothing like illegal or illegal. In Labour, we're talking about whether the strike is protected or lawful. Because of immediately start talking about legal, that tempts it to be a criminal law. So this is a protected strike, and it's a lawful strike.
So it is lawful, even though BUSA says that it seeks to stop the strike because they're saying that you haven't satisfied the requirements for it to be legal or protected, as you say.
As I'm saying, that in fact, the interdictors look more on the legal side of which that is why I'm saying we are not in a criminal law. All that we know that there's a difference, especially when it talks to strike and the protected action. So the strike is something that one will look at Section 64 of the Labour Relations Act, and also it will be equated to Section 189 of the Labour Relations Act. That is a strike. So here we're talking about the protected action. So on the protected action is more of a national crisis because of it is termed under the socio-economic crisis that we're facing as a country. So there's no any other requirement that you have to really undergo as long as you are sure that you have applied for Section 77. And Section 77 is something that has been issued, the certificate has been issued by NETLEC. And whilst in the strike, the certificate has been issued by the CCMH. So it's where you have to follow a lot of other requirements that you have to look at. So NETLEC has issued the certificate, and I don't think that in the history of NETLEC has ever made a mistake of issuing any kind of a certificate. So the strike is lawful, and the strike is a protected protest that will take place tomorrow on the 27th, which is Friday.
Yeah, on the 27th, which as you rightly say, is Friday. So
yes.
Let's talk about the statement that you are trying to make by shutting down the systems in the banking industry.
Look, what we're trying to do is to bring the bank captains to their senses, because we've started almost around June to engage and have some talks with them, but everything that they have been saying to them, nothing that they've adhered to. So all that we're trying to do now is to get their attention and also to make the public aware of the conditions that our members they work under into these South African banks. So that is what really we are looking at, and we are also looking at the sympathy from other unions in the country as well as the communities that we are living in, so that they can realize the conditions and the work-related, all other things that the banks are treating our members on.
To date this year, Joe, how many jobs have been lost in the banking industry?
Look, up to so far, we can safely talk of plus minus 4,000 to 5,000 up to so far. And but the expectations and the consultations that have been going on between ourselves and the banks under Section 189, it has pointed out that almost 10,000 jobs might be lost only in 2019.
Wow. So, I mean, there could be another 5,000 job losses this year. And so this strike obviously is talking to that and wanting to put a moratorium on job losses.
All that we're looking for, we wanted this moratorium on job losses. And looking at that moratorium, we all want to sit down and say to the bank captains, what is it that we can do to make sure that we save more jobs rather than those that are lost already. Because of looking at how these jobs are being lost. There is a notion that speaks to the fourth industrial revolution because of, if you remember, one of the banks, they went on to close branches. And those branches that they've closed, we believe as SASBO that those are the branches that belong to the people because of most of the branches that we closed are the branches where the poor people are transacting. And to say that people now are behaving in a way of technology, we don't believe it's true. Because of all that we believe in as SASBO is that these branches are closed just because of the captains of the industry, they want to maximize profit and nothing else. So all that was in here, it's all about corporate greed.
Yeah. So, Joe, let's talk to the whole issue of the fourth industrial revolution and to make banking digital, because banks are constantly pushing, do your banking online, don't go into branches. And the reality is that we look at a situation where perhaps employees have not been trained to deal with this fourth industrial revolution and, getting the necessary skills to compete in this industry. And this, of course, I imagine, results in so many job losses. Is this something that you're also asking the banking sector to go in and help train the staff that are already there?
Look, Lynn, this thing is twofold. One, it talks to the staff that are there. And then two, it can talk to the public at large. And the question becomes that if somebody now knows to make one transaction on the telephone, will you really say that a person is really a telephone or internet compliant? Because of none of our people have been taught, about technology like that. So all that we're looking at as SASBO is to say we wanted the banks to prepare both the nation, which is the society, as well as both our members. We're looking at, because the banks knew 7-8 years ago that the fourth industrial revolution was coming. Right now, people are starting to talk about the fifth industrial revolution.
Yeah.
So, but the banks are so reluctant to make sure that we get our members trained. We are looking at the skills. The skill that will say, how do we really, when we are faced with the challenges of any other transaction that has to go through the so-called fourth industrial revolution. One, we are looking at let our members being reskilled. We are looking at our members being upskilled. We're also looking at multi-skilling. And then the last one, we're looking at outskilling. And in the outskilling, we are saying, let the bank make sure that when they put off people, at least those people can be able to be employable going to the future. But the way they're doing it now, they are dissolving people, they are retrenching people without people not knowing what the future holds for them.
Yeah.
And all that we're saying as SASBO is that one job lost is a job too many. Because of, if you speak of a black tech, you can remember that 1:7, 1:5. So those people that have been retrenched, most of them are breadwinners. Yeah. So all that we're seeing is an exploitation of labor by the industries, by the captains of the industry.
Yeah.
So that is what is happening. And we don't know what is the problem that makes the industry not to want to buy. Because of what we've picked up is that when we ask the bank to say, what does the future world of work entail? What is that you can do to make sure, together as the industry and SASBO, to make sure that we prepare our people so that they can be able, to challenge the fourth industrial revolution.
Okay.
The banks cannot tell us what is it that is required to be done for people to be upskilled, to be multi-skilled, to be reskilled, because they themselves, they don't know what the future entails. So the South African banks are more reactive than being proactive.
All right, Joe, we have to leave it there, unfortunately, due to time constraints. But I know that there have been warnings out for people to draw as much money as they can for now, because Friday ATMs won't be working, that you're saying speed points won't be working, and also banks, obviously, will be shut down due to this. Is this true? Are those the things that you're asking South Africans to plan for ahead of the strike? If you could do that very quickly, please.
We are asking for solidarity, and that solidarity could be that people must not even go nearer to the ATMs, because those ATMs are controlled, programmed by our members. So they'll not be functional on Friday. and even speed points will not be functional. So that is what will be happening.
Digital banking, will that be affected?
Digital banking is the one that, in fact, you want to affect more because of these captains of the industries are making sure that, when they're talking about contingency plan, their contingency plans is to say people have to go to a digital platform.
Okay.
Without forgetting that there's this cybercrime that is so high in South Africa.
Joe, thanks so much for talking to us. I'm sure we will be talking to Joe and be talking more about this strike, planned strike action for Friday. Joe Kokela, though, is the General Secretary of the South African Society of Bank Officials. This national strike set to take place in the banking sector on Friday, affecting everything. You heard it, ATMs, speed points, banking, and also saying digital banking may be affected as well. Let's take